Hello, everyone. My guest today is James Avery. He's the founder and CEO of AdZerk, an API company that powers native ads, promotions, and sponsored listing for companies like TicketMaster, Wattpad, Imager, and many others. Prior to AdZerk, James co-founded TechPub, which was acquired by Pluralsight. James, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Tell us about AdZerk, and are you a pure play SaaS platform or not?
Yes, we're I guess 98% pure play SaaS. We have a couple of parts of our business that can be more kind of revenue, rev share focused. But our goal is is to be 100% SaaS API company that helps these different publishers and e-commerce companies really build innovative ad solutions.
Okay. And yeah, give me an example. So Wattpad, how do they use you? Or actually use TicketMaster. How do they use you?
Yeah, Ticketmaster is a great example. So when you go to Ticketmaster, you see different shows that are on the site. So basically, they'll have like a sponsored show, promoted show. Maybe I don't remember where you live, but let's say you're in L.A. and then you'd see that there's a game tonight. There's a Lakers game. There's also Justin Timberlake's play-in or something like that. Those shows and how you decide to show those, like which one you show, is based on using our API. So our API can help optimize and show the right venue and the right targeted show for the right person at the right time.
Yeah, similar to the way that Amazon has a recommendation engine and an internal API. You've essentially built that API externally, then sold it to these companies that are using it internally, like Ticketmaster, Wattpad, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we actually work with a number of e-commerce companies that use us exactly the way that Amazon does promoted listings. So if you go to Amazon, you search, you actually see promoted listings. Those are powered by our API as well. So
Okay.
Really it is, you see all the cool stuff Amazon does and you want to do that, but why go build the whole solution, build the whole stack when you can use our API to do it a lot quicker.
And how do you price? Do you sell like bulk API calls per month or what?
Yeah, I mean, basically it's SaaS. So it's a monthly recurring fee based on the number of API calls that you make.
Okay, got it. And I don't want to go down every customer cohort, but on average, what's a customer pay you per month?
Average is probably around 5 to 6K.
Okay, got it. So you're very much in the enterprise space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. And then let's put this on a timeline. When did you launch the company?
Originally launched it back in 2010.
Okay, 2010. And have you bootstrapped or raised?
So we raised back in 2011, 2012. We raised about 1.7 million across like 2 different seed rounds. But we haven't raised any since then. We've been kind of break even / profitable.
That's great. And what's the team size today?
We're at 20 people.
And what have you scaled to in terms of total customers on you now?
We're a little bit over 100.
100. Okay, so look, healthy growth. Now, can I take 100 times that $5,000 price point you just mentioned and kind of back into 500 grand a month in revenue?
Yeah, we're right around there. Yeah.
Okay. What is your next goal? By the end of this year, December 2018, what do you want to grow that to?
That's a good question. I think our focus has been a lot on getting the right customers in. So it's been a lot on getting larger enterprise customers. So we're actually hoping to get that number up, even higher than it is now. But we're looking to grow about 40% this year.
Okay. And what were you? So if you're 500 grand a month today, where were you a year ago in July or August of 2017?
Yeah, I think back then we're probably around 350 or so.
Okay.
So like we're getting decent growth.
Yeah.
It's different than the VC growth curves that you see when you go raise $40 million. But
but who the hell needs that?
Happy.
You got a 40% growth rate, cash flow positive. You're good.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, great. And where is most of the extra revenue coming from? Is it driving additional usage at Ticketmaster or landing brand new customers?
It's a little bit of both, but it's mostly new customers. I think a lot of we do see growth in existing customers, but the majority of the new growth is adding in large new names like Ticketmaster.
And are you keeping historical ones? In other words, what does your churn look like, and how do you measure that?
Yeah, churn is really low. So, I think churn is, we try to make sure it's under 2% a year, and, we haven't really had a problem there.
And that's on a logo basis or revenue basis?
That's on a revenue basis.
Okay, and gross or net?
Gross.
Gross. Okay, now net, if we look at net revenue retention annually, is that over 100%?
It's actually, I think it's right. It's basically like 99. Yeah. Like our goal is actually get that up to like 102%, something like that, because we can see the growth at current customers, but I think we're just shy of 100 right now.
Okay, good. So we'll call it maybe 98% net revenue retention annually, still healthy. And most of the expansion revenue, is that only coming from them using more API calls, or do you have other levers you pull to drive expansion?
Yeah, no, mostly it's usage, but it's actually not just, you have like a natural growth, like as a customer gets larger, they use us more. But we also see that once we get into a customer, there's a little bit of that land and expand where they use us for one project and then they'll go and use us for, another couple projects.
Yep. And walk me through your sales process. What are you spending right now to acquire these new customers fully weighted?
Yeah, I don't have that answer off the top of my head. We have a pretty hands-on enterprise sales process. So, our sales guys are working with companies for, a lot of times 2 to 3 months, working through their project, figuring out what they want to build. We have a lot of expertise around how these projects work and how they should best build them. So it's very hands-on, very, we get people using the API first, get them success before they sign a contract. So it's pretty hands-on enterprise sales, but we're also pretty light on the sales side. I mean, we have a sales team of like 5 people, so it's pretty lean.
About 25% of your total team of 20.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you a different question. What payback period do you try and optimize for?
Yeah, I mean, we pay back in less than a year.
Okay, got it.
So that's yeah. I mean, and as a break-even company, like you can't plan it out too much further than that. Otherwise, you'd have to go raise capital.
That's still pretty long on a company that's break even. If you're able to have a 12-month payback and still, but no, hold on. Are you pulling any of these contracts forward, a $5,000 a month forward, and getting collecting $70,000 up front?
No, we don't do that too often. Like we started to try to do that more because I think that is good for kind of being break even. But I mean, when I say less than a year, like it's really, I mean, it's way less than that. It's now that when I'm thinking about it, it's cost of acquiring a customer is probably a couple months, covers that.
Yeah.
It's commission, salary, any marketing expenses. So really, it's probably 3 or 4 months.
Got it. So 4 months at $5,000 a month. That's call it a $20,000 CAC, and then obviously a 4-month payback. You think that's more accurate?
Yeah.
Yep. And most of that expense is going towards what? The salesperson commission, their travel, all that? Or are you spending on direct paid Google ads, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, we do some direct paid, but it's pretty minimal just because we are grown mostly still on customer referrals. Project manager at this company talks to another project manager, tells them about using AdZerk. We get customers that way. That's been most of our growth.
That's great. And where's everybody based? Your team?
Most of us are in Durham, North Carolina.
Oh, great. A research triangle,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah. And then we have a couple people who are remote, and we have one person out in San Francisco.
That's great. Now, are you raising additional capital today?
No, we aren't.
You're not. You just stay bootstrapped, do your own thing, grow organically.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you in talks to exit to anyone right now?
No.
Not at all. No interest.
No, not right now. I think we've been growing healthily. We're at doing it without raising money. There's no reason to try to exit when things are going well.
That's good. Besides the obvious growth metrics of revenue and customers, it sounds like your next most important one are like number of API calls maybe per customer. How many API calls are you processing now in like a given month?
Yeah. I mean, so we're over 1 billion a day.
Oh wow. Okay.
So in API calls, yeah. So there's a lot of calls going through.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's been fun to scale that, right? I mean, like there's a lot of engineering challenges with scaling something to that scale.
Name one of them.
I mean, I think the biggest one is getting used to zero downtime. Like, I think a lot of SaaS companies are used to, if they have to do maintenance in the middle of the night on Sunday night, it's okay. But, working with these global brands and their website, like you can't be down ever. And so we've really had to architect our system to always be up and always be able to handle that kind of load.
Yep. Nope. Makes good sense. Let's wrap up here with the famous 5, James. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Favorite business book is Good to Great.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I think the one I follow the most is a guy named Brian Hanley. May not be super well known, but he's here in Raleigh. He was one of our early investors, and he's had a lot of success.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building your business?
Favorite online tool? The one we've been using a lot lately that I'm really happy with is Lattice. So Lattice kind of lets you do goals and 360 reviews and things like that.
And number 4, how many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
How many hours of sleep? Oh, I get 7. That's
pretty
not bad.
Pretty good. And what's your situation? Married, single? Do you have kids?
Married with kids.
How many?
2.
Good. I was gonna say not wives, kids. All right. Married, 2 kids. And how old are you, James?
I am 39.
39. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I wish. Let's see. Which one? Lots of things. I think the biggest one is that you should hire people who are smarter than you. You should hire people that challenge your assumptions, that will come in and who are experts in their field. And I think early on, I didn't do that enough. Not to diss anybody I hired early on, but I think really reaching for the stars and hiring like really, really expert VPs in the areas where they are has really helped AdZerk move forward.
Hire folks smarter than you. There you guys have it from James. James launched again back in 2010, now scaled up to about 100 customers like TicketMaster, helping them make recommendations or promoted products. At the bottom of, you just bought a ticket to X, you should go check out Y, Z, and Q as well. They're now doing about $500,000 per month, up from $350,000 just a year ago. So healthy growth, under 2% per year revenue churn. In terms of net revenue retention, they are flirting with that 100% mark, currently at about 98%. He's totally healthy with about a 4-month payback period. So spending about 20 grand to hire to get a $5,000 per month customer. Cash flow positive now, which I love. They raised $1.7 million many, many years ago. But again, now in just healthy growth phase at AdGreets. James, thanks for taking us to the top.
Yeah, thank you.